Hi, I'm Vanessa from SpeakEnglishWithVanessa.com. Can these 6 celebrities speak English? Some are amazing, but some are not so great. Let's talk about it. Let's take a look at 6 celebrities from around the world and test their English. Obviously, these celebrities are already successful and don't need me to give them tips about their English, but we can pretend for a moment that they are my students. What would I say to help them along with their English? I'm going to give them some tips and a score. 0 for not understandable at all, and 5 native English level. To help you remember everything that you learned in today's lesson, I have created a free PDF worksheet with all of the pronunciation tips, vocabulary tips, grammar tips that I am going to give these celebrities so that you can speak even better than them. Amazing. You can click on the link in the description to download the free PDF and never forget what you've learned today. Let's start with famous football or soccer player Cristiano Ronaldo. We're gonna watch a quick clip and then we will analyze it together. Let's watch.
I miss to play in Spain. We have that battle the last 15 years, which is good. He pushed me and I push him as well. So it's good to be part of history of football. I'm there and of course he's there as well.
Thank you, Mr. Ronaldo. So he is understandable, but he does make a few pretty basic grammatical mistakes that we can talk about. The first one is, he says, I miss to play in Spain. And what he should have said is, I miss playing in Spain. With the verb miss, we always have an ing verb. I miss playing. I miss sleeping. I miss seeing my family. That's great. Next he says, we have that battle the last 15 years. And instead, to take it up to the best level here, he should have said, we have had that battle for the last 15 years. And this is a common mistake by English learners around the world. The present perfect verb tense is pretty tricky to know when to use it, when not to use it, and adding the word for compared to since, or maybe not adding it at all, can be tricky as well. But in this sentence, he's talking about something that was in the past and it is continuing to today. We have had that battle for 15 years. It is still continuing. And finally, he said, he pushed me and I push him as well. He meant to use the past tense here, but he just cut off the ed. Instead, he should have said, he pushed me and I pushed him. Now, this is an advanced way to use the verb to push. He's not talking about physically pushing. He's talking about making someone better and better. A good teacher should push you outside your comfort zone to do something difficult because they know that you'll improve. So he's talking here about improving his skills as a soccer player, but he should have said it in the past tense. He pushed me and I pushed him. So aside from some rough basic grammar, he is still understandable, so we are going to give Cristiano a 2. Next, we're going to watch famous Brazilian supermodel Gisele Bundchen. Let's listen to her speak English and then we'll analyze it. Let's watch.
Yeah, and you know what I found? I come from a family of 5. I have 5 sisters, and we used to play volleyball, so it was like a team sport. We all play in the same team, but Tom's family is a little different. His sisters he's the baby, he's got 3 older sisters, and they're pretty hardcore. I mean, when they play, it's like...
Yeah, really? They go for it.
You know that game that dodgeball, is it? When you go and you throw really hard at the person and then they die, they're out of the...
I have to say, Gisele has great vocabulary and grammar here. She even uses some really American English expressions like, they're hardcore. Hardcore means they're really serious. So she's married to a famous American football player, and as you can imagine, he's very competitive, his family is competitive, so she uses that expression to talk about how they're very serious when they play games. They are hardcore. Also, her pronunciation is quite American. She says the word pretty with a D sound. She doesn't say pretty. T, even though there's a T, in American English, that T will change to a D sound. This happens all the time in American English. We say water, sweater. Great. This is the same with the word pretty, pretty, and that's how she says it. Excellent. Overall, Gisele speaks quickly and understandably, and her English is awesome, so I'm going to give her a 4. Next, we are going to watch the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi. He's giving a speech to the people of the world, the people of India as well. We're going to watch a clip from that speech and then analyze it. Let's watch.
They are witnessing history in the making. Mr. President, you had introduced me to your family in 2017. And today, I have the honor to introduce you to my family.
Because this is a political speech, and maybe it was written by someone else, maybe it was written by him, but it's something he can practice in advance, the grammar and vocabulary are awesome. He also speaks slowly enough that even though he has some difficult pronunciation points that we'll talk about in a moment, he's still understandable. And that is really the goal here. The things that I'm mentioning that he can improve are just to take it to the next level. The most important thing is that he is understandable. So let's talk about some pronunciation points. At the beginning of this clip, he says, "We are witnessing," but he doesn't say it with a clear W like that. Instead, he uses a V sound. He says, "We are witnessing." Now, this isn't completely ununderstandable, but it's important that each word is as clear as possible so that the vast majority of people can understand. So mixing up the W and the V sound is a common mistake with people around the world, and what you need to do to have a clear W is to make a little kissy face. We are witnessing. And with the V sound, your top teeth are on your bottom lip. Vanessa. So in this situation, making a little kissy face will help the W to be very clear. We are witnessing. Next, I want to talk about a point that is very typical in Indian English, and maybe for people in India, it's extremely understandable. But for people outside of India, it might make it a little bit more tricky to understand, and that is the R sound. So I heard this in 2 different words. The first word is honor, and the next one is introduce. So in American English, the R is very hard. Honor, introduce. But in Indian English, it's often rolled. So what I heard the Prime Minister say is honor, honor, where it's not very strong. It's rolled inside the mouth. Or for the word introduce, he said introduce. It's inside the mouth instead of a strong R sound. So in India, this will be very understandable to other people from the country. But I just want to give you a little tip if you are from India, or if this is something that is tricky for you in your native language, to try to have a hard R sound, and that will really help your speech to just take it up to the next level as far as being understandable. Honor, introduce. So overall, Prime Minister Modi, you speak slowly enough, clearly enough that you are absolutely understandable, so I'm going to give you a 3. Next, we're going to take a look at the most famous South Koreans at the moment, the singing group BTS. There are 7 people in this group, so it's a little bit tricky to give them an overall score, but I want you to listen and I will help to pull out a couple points to help them become better English speakers. Let's watch.
Who is BTS leader?
Namjoon Kim.
Namjoon.
Our leader is very smart and very
kind.
Oh yeah, very kind.
Very strong.
Very healthy. Big body.
Very handsome.
First of all, I have to give them some credit because they are native Korean speakers, but they're doing presentations and speeches and interviews in English. This is unbelievably scary, tricky. I'm sure they feel really nervous and they want to say the right thing. They want to, be themselves. So they're already in a tricky situation because they are suddenly overnight international superstars. So I want to give them a little credit before I give them some pronunciation advice. Let's start with the first word. I heard them say the word leader. So the question is, who is the leader of BTS? But a common mistake that I often hear my East Asian students make is exchanging the R for the L sound. Now, I lived in South Korea for 3 years and I struggled to make the Korean R sound. So I absolutely understand that in reverse, for Koreans, the English L and R sound are also tricky. I was there, I understand. So instead of saying leader, I heard him say reader instead of leader, reader. So if you want to make a clear L sound, your tongue can go between your teeth. Leader, leader. So he could have said, who is the leader of BTS? Who is the leader, leader? Next, I heard many of them using the word very. This is a common thing that I hear kind of beginner English learners overuse. There's no problem in saying the word very. Oftentimes, American English speakers will say really instead of very. So it's more common to hear really. Oh, he's really amazing. He's really handsome. He's really great instead of very. But I want to talk about a pronunciation point that I heard. Instead of saying very, I heard berry. He exchanged the V for the B sound. This is common for Korean speakers, it's common for Spanish speakers, it's common for a lot of other languages around the world. And I want to help you, remind you, we talked about the V a moment ago, that if you want to say very, your top teeth are on your bottom lip. Very. He's very handsome. He's very smart. Very. You don't want to say that he's berry because that is talking about a fruit. Instead, very. There's one little word, another word that I wanted to mention. I hope I'm not being too harsh. BTS, please forgive me. I'm sure you'll never watch this. But it is the word healthy. Healthy. This combines two tricky points together. We have the L and the TH together. And a common mistake I see with the TH is changing it into an S. So in this clip, he said healthy, healthy, but really it should be healthy. So can you practice that word with me? Make sure that there's an L, healthy. And maybe it's a little bit helpful because your tongue is already out of your mouth for the L sound. Healthy. Make sure there's a stream of air. Healthy. He's very healthy. He's very healthy. Now, I do know that the leader, the guy they're talking about, the guy in the middle here, that he is fluent in English. His English is incredible. And whenever they do interviews in English, he's the one who speaks for the group. Usually he translates. That's not an easy skill. Overall, BTS, I'm going to have to give you a score of 1. Your music is catchy, but can work on English a little bit more. Next, we're going to take a look at famous actress Salma Hayek from Mexico. Let's take a look and then we'll analyze it together.
I also learned today that you and your husband like to scare each other.
Oh yeah, and all my children. But it's
and your
not
children.
accurate. Oh yeah. So I have some masters in the family. But I have to admit, it's good to admit one's flaw. I like to scare them. I love it, the anticipation. I don't like it when they scare me.
Overall, Salma's grammar and vocabulary are great. She is understandable. There's a couple pronunciation points that I would like to mention to her if she ever watches this video. The first one is at the very beginning of the clip, we hear her say family. Family. Now, usually in American English, we break this word into just 2 syllables. Family. family. She used 3 syllables, and that middle syllable is very typical of Spanish speakers. She didn't say fam-ili with a short I, family. She says family, E. So oftentimes I hear Spanish speakers substitute a short I for a long E. Now, this is usually not a big deal, like the word family or family is understandable either way, but when it comes to some bad words, words like beach and sheet very clearly and not the bad word instead. I also noticed some emphasis that could be changed slightly. She said the tricky word anticipation. Now, usually we say anticipation, but instead she said anticipation. So here again, she's using that long E sound, anticipation. Now we can still understand it, but overall, Salma, if you would like to level up your English, practicing the short I would help a lot. For me, as a native English speaker, I can understand her with no problem, and that's excellent. But I'm curious for you all as English learners, can you understand her clearly? Sometimes when there is tricky pronunciation or emphasis that's a little bit different than we expect, it can be hard to understand when you're learning that language. So let me know in the comments what you think about her pronunciation and can you understand her? Well, I'd like to give her a score of 3. Excellent work. Let's go to our next celebrity, who is Maria Sharapova, the famous Russian tennis player. Let's watch this clip.
How does Maria Sharapova spend her time off court? I have a few businesses that I'm a part of and that I invest in. The main one happens to be Sugarpova, a candy company that I launched in 2012. It's been that many years. Everything from gummies to chocolate to truffles, you name it, we make it. I love candy. I feel like it's that little indulgence in a little kid that comes out in me when I have a really great day or I win a tough match and I come home and there's a mini bar and you're just like, I owe this to myself. So I do it. I open up that mini bar, I get the chocolate, and there it is. Straight to the hips.
Okay, wow. She's amazing. Not only is she an amazing tennis player, but her English is flawless. If I just listened to her, I would have no clue that she's not a native English speaker. For real, it's amazing. Let's look at a couple phrases she uses so that you can use them as well. She's talking about a candy company that she owns. I guess she's quite a multi-talented person. She uses the phrase, you name it, we make it. So this is kind of a shorthand way of saying, whatever you can imagine, we can do it. So if you can imagine any kind of candy, well, they can make it. So that means they can do a lot of really cool things. You name it, we make it. Cool. At the end of this clip, she says, and there it is, straight to the hips. The way that she uses this also is so comfortable and so casual that we know she has an excellent handle on English. When she says, and there it is, straight to the hips, she's talking about eating candy, eating chocolate, and gaining weight in her hips. Now, this is something that makes her, as an elite athlete, very relatable to us as normal people. Because usually when we think about elite athletes, we don't think about candy and chocolate. But she is saying, I'm just like you. I eat candy and I eat chocolate and it goes straight to my hips. It's a very funny thing to say and it really shows that she is completely comfortable speaking English. So congratulations, Maria, you get a 5. Our final celebrity is famous supermodel and businesswoman Heidi Klum from Germany. Let's watch a clip where she's talking about when she was a host on a famous singing show. Let's watch.
I think I am the same. I would probably say that I'm the most honest.
Yeah.
You know, I thought he was much harsher, to be honest with you, but he's not really as harsh. We have a lot of fun together, I have to say.
He's harsh.
And when he gets naughty, then he gets the drink spilled all over him because I'm not taking it.
First of all, Heidi, excellent work on your English. You're extremely understandable and easy to listen to. There's one little pronunciation point that I wanted to mention that will help you sound even more like an American English speaker, and that is when she says the word naughty. Naughty. We mentioned before that often a T will change to a D sound. We heard that earlier with the word pretty. Pretty. It's not pretty, it's pretty in American English. And in this conversation, Heidi Klum says naughty, naughty, with a clear T sound. But in American English, we would say naughty, naughty. Oh, my dog is so naughty. He's always taking my socks and chewing on them. He's so naughty. This is an excellent way to level up your pronunciation to sound more like an American. Overall, Heidi, you're doing an excellent job. I would like to give you a score of 4. So there you have it, my ranking of 6 celebrities speaking English. I want to know, do you agree with my ratings? What do you think? Could you understand their English? Who was the trickiest for you to understand? And is there a celebrity from your country that you would like me to review or maybe give a couple tips to? Let me know in the comments who is a famous celebrity from your country that I should look at next. Well, don't forget to download the free PDF for today's lesson so that you can review all of the tips and ideas that I gave these 6 celebrities. You can download the free PDF with the link in the description so that you never forget what you've learned, and you might even be able to speak better than the celebrities. Well, thank you so much for learning English with me, and I'll see you again next Friday for a new lesson here on my YouTube channel. Bye.
The next step is to download the free PDF worksheet for this lesson. With this free PDF, you will master today's lesson and never forget what you have learned. You can be a confident English speaker. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for a free English lesson every Friday. Bye!